Mike Dell's World number 227 for November 6th, 2015. And I said I wasn't going to put out an episode today because I had put out an episode of Podcast Help Desk number 66. And in that one, I kind of went on a rant about some real, quote-unquote, radio guy basically whining about podcasting and streaming and all that. So if you want to go listen to that, it's podcasthelpdesk.com/66. Or if you're subscribed, it'll just show up if it hasn't already. So I'm going to get this one in just under the wire. It is now 11:33 p.m. on Friday, November 6th. Tomorrow we're having a big party, cookout, and so on here at the cabin in the woods here in Traverse City. Gonna be cooking up some steaks and other stuff and having some friends, probably about 30 people, friends and family over here for a bonfire cookout, hang around party. It's mainly for Kathy's birthday, my wife Kathy. She's turning a one less than a significant number, let's put it that way, for her birthday. And she always likes to throw parties, so that's what she's doing for her birthday. And I've been definitely involved with the honey-do list. I spent a good portion of today, or at least this afternoon, running around doing honey-do lists and picking up things for the party and taking care of other miscellaneous chores. And while I was at it, I took care of a few chores that I have to do before winter. I still haven't got the camper winterized. I'm kind of bummed about that, but just hasn't happened yet. But that shouldn't be a big problem. I got it all drained. I just have to pump in some antifreeze, and we haven't really had any below freezing weather to speak of here, and they don't have any forecasted for the next couple of weeks, so we might have a little snow tomorrow night, but that doesn't mean we're going to be below freezing for the most part. We can have snow here when it's 37 degrees, and then it's supposed to warm back up into the 50s and 60s next week, so we're kind of having a mild fall for the most part. We get up to 76 degrees, as I talked about yesterday in the weather segment, so we won't go into the weather, but anyway. But some of the pre-winter things is getting the tractor ready for winter. And last year, I waited too long and found out that I had a broken bracket on my John Deere that I use, not the John Deere that I'm going to restore, which I really meant to start this summer, but we'll maybe do it next summer or work on it anyway. But the John Deere that I use, which is still an old 1973 or 72, we're not sure, but by serial number we figure 73, John Deere 110, and I noticed that the front tires both had slow leaks in them, because when I finally dug it out to get it going this year, tires were flat, but I had to take it over to the welding shop first and have them fabricate a new bracket for the lift pivot point for the front attachment. It's kind of a pivot point where all the levers and whatnot go to lift the snow blower and or the plow blade attachment that goes on the front of the tractor for winter. I use the snow blower. I don't use the plow blade attachment because it's kind of pointless when you got as much snow as we get around here. You want to kind of blow it out of the way. But last year I realized I had that broken bracket way too late to get it fixed, and so the tractor just sat in the backyard and didn't do anything, and I did everything with the walk-behind blower. And of course we had a pretty rough winter, but the walk-behind blower does an okay job, just takes longer. With the tractor, I can usually whip the driveway out in, 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how much snow fell. And it could be up to 2 hours with the walk behind. And still, with the tractor, I still got to do touch up with the walk behind and, do the walks. And I I make a beagle trail in the backyard since beagles are short and got short legs. It's kind of nice for them to have a plowed place to run when you let them out. So I make a big lap around the backyard with the snowblower, and I call that the beagle trail. And I go around one of the big oak trees out there, so he's got a place to lift his leg, and it's fun. He goes out there and does laps, when he's got to get his speedy beagle on to get some exercise. So he goes out and does laps in the plowed part, but he ventures off into the snowy part too. But last year we had snowbanks probably 3 feet deep in the backyard, and it was even hard for him to climb up there on those. But like I said, kept that trail clear and a little blank spot there around the trees, so he had a place to do his business, But so that's what I've been up to. The slow leaking tires. I forgot to tell you about that. But anyway, I got the bracket done, got it back from the welding shop, I don't know, this week. I guess it was Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday we picked it up at the welding shop. My dad brought it out to his house. And I went out there today amongst all the errands I was running, and Dad and I jacked the tractor up and got the front wheels off. I was actually extremely surprised at how easy those front tires came off of that thing. And then, of course, it dawns on me the thing goes 7.5 miles an hour, so it doesn't need to be high-speed rated. So it didn't have lug nuts or anything. It just had one nut in the hub with a big washer. Geez, I'm talking Midwestern, aren't I? But you just take that one, I think it was a 9/16 bolt out of the hub, and the wheel slides right off. It's got the encapsulated bearings on either side of the wheel, and then the axles greased up pretty good. But took it down to the tire shop, and of course they were tubeless tires, and I don't know why you would put tubeless tires on a piece of yard equipment, but apparently that's what they did the last time those tires were changed. I think my sister, or my sister's boyfriend at the time, had that done, because she had that tractor before I did. Dad gave it to her to use, and she didn't like it because it was just too much to handle. So I traded her a walk-behind snowblower for it, and she still uses that snowblower, and I got the tractor. It works out pretty good. But anyway, they put tubeless tires on the front, and of course the beads on 40-year-old tires or 40-year-old rims are a little rusty. So tire shop said, well, we'll just stick some tubes in there. So fairly cheap and all that, and I dropped them off on the way into town, and then went and picked them up a couple hours later, and got tires that hold air. So I'll go out to my dad's place probably Sunday afternoon and put the tires back on it. We're gonna take the body off of the tractor, or what they call the fender deck off of the tractor, and do some belt maintenance and spring maintenance, and all the moving parts under there that operate all the gizmos and gadgets. We'll get those all greased up and new belts and all that put on there, and then I'll be able to bring it home and hang the snowblower on it. That's a snowblower I bought last year, used off of Craigslist, and I put a want ad on Craigslist. I said, I need a Model 37 John Deere snowblower, because the one that I had was just plain wore out, and it's a lot easier just to get one that's not wore out than it is to buy a new one. Well, this guy had that, plus he had a new seat, a new hood, a plow blade attachment, which was better than the plow blade that I had, and a pair of back tires and wheels that looked like brand new. And I think he charged me $110 or $120. I forget what it was, but it was cheap, but I had to drive a little ways to get it. And so we went up and got all that stuff. So now I've got extra back tires. I got new seat, which we'll put on when we put it all back together, because the old seats just wore out. The new one isn't new. It's new to me and better, but it's not new. It's got a couple little rips in it, but definitely nothing like the one that is on it right now. The hood that I got from the guy really isn't much of anything, but those rear tires and wheels will come in handy. Although the ones that are on it aren't bad, so we'll see. Okay, enough about tractors. It's now 11:42, so if I'm going to get this up before midnight, I suppose I better start rendering. I appreciate everybody hanging out and listening to my dribble for National Podcast Posting Month here on Mike Dell's World. If you want to participate yourself, Sean Thorpe, who's my colleague over at Blueberry, he's also part of the support team over there, wrote an article at Podcaster News all about NoPodPoMo. I don't know. That's not pronounceable. It shouldn't be. Anyway, National Podcast Posting Month. And you still got time to participate. The only requirement is do 30 episodes in 30 days. So in the 30 days of November. So, you'd have to double up a few days, but could happen. Or do like what I'm doing. I've got 3 different podcasts that I'm posting to, so it kind of takes the burden off. So, okay, better get this going. Catch me later.